Captain's log, stardate 1102201917.0, Starship Enterprise B's log. So it's been a while. I think I got an update for you all. I don't remember when my last update was. I know Commander Jess is looking for an update anyways. So, all right, it's been a couple days. So, anyways, I got a couple things to share with you all. So, one of the things going on is, for some of you wondering, I think I briefed you of the meeting where I went to the meeting and it went pretty well, you know. So, anywho, going into arguments on other issues, you know, so anyways, what else can I say? So I went to Off Island the other day, and this was yesterday, and it was just terrible, literally terrible. I mean, with everything happening, you know, I briefed Dinky about it already, but I'm just saying it was literally terrible, you know. So, um, um, and so, you know, I don't have much to brief you on this morning, but family asked me to finish up my Christmas list on Amazon, so I did that. I've been so busy. Uh, So my cousin-in-law, Dinky, was looking over my Christmas list and said, no games. Well, one of the things I'm doing for Christmas for everyone is coffee, basically. My uncle might get cigars. My aunt's going to get coffee. My cousin Corey's getting a bag. I just got to go mail it off. Probably mail it to Monday or Tuesday or whatever. Monday, I got to go off island again, which I tell you all for you know, uh, other issues, you know. So we get I didn't get any sleep yesterday till really late, and so what happened is we got on the ferry and Chloe went to sleep, and I was writing a letter to St. Jose. St. Jose was offering to help with uh, the Google device and the cameras because St. Jose doesn't want me having a firearm because I would have to use it, you know. So, but so anyways, so we went to the smoke shop, and then from there we got on a bus. You know, I'm not going to go into all the details, and then we went to Mount Vernon sector to cash a check that Chloe's grandmother sent her. I stayed behind at the station so it would be easier. And then after that, I I went to uh, back on the shuttle, and we went. Chloe was eating chips, and kind of disgusted me to a point because my sugar level is really low. So she was all snippy and snappy, like I need to get home to go to sleep, and yada yada yada. So she asked the bus driver we ran into, the shuttle driver, hey, when are you going to Marks Point Station and or shuttle station? And all of a sudden he's like 7 minutes. So I used the bathroom and I went from there. So then, anywho, so then what happened was, uh, we got there, and I was thinking, you know what? I'll just grab something to eat at the shuttle station to go back to Friday Harbor main station. So I get into the waiting room area, check in with my ticket, and there's a line out the door. So Chloe goes and grabs clam chowder and other stuff, and this is, in between me going to another place. So I got dropped off, to the depot, and there's a line out the door. So I said, okay, I'll just go to the shuttle's galley and I'll grab a quick bite to eat there. Galley was packed. So when I was leaving, my friends that worked the galley said, Admiral, didn't you get yourself a beer and a hot dog? I said, no, there's a line out the door, you know. So So then I went over to the coffee shop and talked to Irene at the station's coffee shop about sending coffee out to St. Jose and my aunt in Texas and Chloe's mom in Ohio. And then afterwards, I wanted to get something to eat. Now, our fridge, our chicken legs are frozen. Mind you, let's just say I was having a lot of severe chest pain, had to get checked out. Stress from low sugar and everything else. And so, thanks to the shuttle people, I got seen for my chest pain. And so afterwards, like I said, I went to check out the cask and schooner. I was going to grab me some fish and chips. Didn't happen. Line out the door. Thought, okay, I'll go to the bait shop. Closed. And I frankly didn't want to go into a pub or brewery because, of that. So I thought, okay, Chloe was getting angry and mad because she wanted to get home and go to sleep. So I decided afterwards to go home, and I got on the computer to let Dinky know what happened, And so Chloe sat around and was very grouchy, and so finally I went to sleep really, earlier than I should, and I got up at a good time this morning, and I took a bath this morning, and put in the movie Girl Interrupted. It's about Susanna Kaysen, who's borderline personality disorder, and um, all of a sudden, you know, all of a sudden, Chloe started crying about how bad she is for, no breakfast and Yeah, or no dinner, and because yesterday morning what I had was I had some bacon and some sausage from the grocery store because I didn't have time to have a sit down breakfast. So this morning, that this morning I decided, you know what, I got to go to the grocery store. I got to pick up a few items, for the day. So Chloe's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you a bag of chips. I didn't get you some yesterday, so I'm gonna get you a bag of chips." And then I'm around pushing the shopping cart around, but she didn't take the shopping cart. I said, "Take it because we'll probably get more than we want to carry." And oh no, we're okay. So this morning I went in and I sat down and saw an owner, one of the best breakfast places in town, and had like three lovely waitresses and a lovely guy, mind you, waiting on me, and and so all of a sudden, uh, you know, uh, I will tell you this: when I went to the coffee shop yesterday, Chloe was expecting me to buy her Reese's peanut butter cup. I turned and looked at her and I said, "Look, grandmother sent you some money. You buy it. I cannot keep affording to buy stuff for you, and you're not doing the chores, and you're not doing anything." So what happened was is this morning I went in and I sat down, I had my breakfast, and I'm shoveling it in because I didn't have any food since yesterday morning, and I was eating like crazy. And so so I went ahead and uh, had breakfast, and I had an omelet with gravy, country gravy on the top, country gravy on my hash browns. I enjoyed it, and on my sourdough toast, and shoveled it in. Then Chloe comes in, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the store." I said, "Okay." She goes and asks for hot chocolate. The guy's like, "Okay." Then she asked for breakfast. The guy said, "Okay." Then the guy gives me the bill. And I said, "You need to divide this." And Chloe says, "Oh." So, Chloe bought her breakfast this morning, so it doesn't matter to me. I just said, "Look, so all of a sudden we went to the store, and one of the things that I always carry on hand in the store is popcorn. And so I like my popcorn and my butter. So I picked up some butter and I picked up some popcorn. And usually I pick up this type of popcorn. I like white kernel popcorn. And they had a bigger bag of yellow corn. Now, yellow corn's not bad. I mean, Chloe always buys yellow corn for herself, so I got uh, white corn. And I just find white corn to be more to my liking. Now, when I was at the store, besides getting my popcorn, um, I was walking around, and Dinky knows this because I support local butters. The butters I usually support um, is Tillamook from Oregon, right outside where Dinky is. So I picked up some extra creamy butter. It's made with sea salt. And then I picked up a block of Tillamook cheese. I'll be getting some more of this on Monday. I do like cheese. I have a Ziploc bag, so I'll be cutting the cheese up and eating it as a meal by itself. My mom and I used to love Tillamook cheese. She'd carry the red block, which is extra sharp, which really is interesting because when we bought the popcorn, this is yellow corn, by the way. I bought a jar of the white corn. Now, honestly, a funny thing about the white corn is I don't know where the white corn went. You see, when we got home, the groceries were put away, yet the white corn that I bought seems to went missing. So hopefully hopefully I can find the white corn because of the status. Oh, here it is. So my other jar of white corn is right here, and so I like white corn. So, white corn. So I use white popcorn for my snacks. So instead of buying chips, I usually use white popcorn, and so that was something that I truly enjoy. So so we did that, and so I bought white corn. And so that was one of the things that I decided to do, And so the other thing was, besides white corn, is I was walking around, and I was gonna get milk, and Chloe says, "Oh, the food bank will give milk later." But Chloe decided she fell asleep during the food bank, and I fell asleep because I was watching a movie, And so one of the other things I picked up at the store was wild cherry flavored Capri Suns. They were on sale, so I couldn't pass up. And then Chloe's complaining, "Oh, I need it too." Yeah, I'm like, "You want my fucking cherry? You want to buy it for yourself?" I mean, I was really angry, and she's like, "No." So we went down the aisle because it was on an end cap. We looked there, and there's some more. So I was like, "Look, here's the last box. Take it." Okay. And I'm like, so Chloe decided a little bit ago she wanted to go get some poultry seasoning and some salt and pepper. She wants fried chicken tonight. So it's like, okay. I haven't had that in a couple days. I was supposed to have fried chicken or Cornish game hens on Thursday night, but it was frozen. I forgot to take it out. So, and then I was gonna go to the store, and get a dip, which I did. I bought one can of dip. Because I was gonna go off island to get my rolls. I like Skull. So yesterday when I got home, on the ship here, I went to get my mail and I got my coupons for Skull and Copenhagen. They're the only ones giving me coupons. Grizzly decided I can use a phone to get my tobacco twice a week, and I finally think, So my adopted mother Danielle was saying where I was talking about Christmas gifts, coffee, and she said send it to this address in New York, which is Trump Plaza. So you know, and so she said she lived at Trump Plaza. So I said, yeah, right, pigs can fly. So, anyways, back to my story. Uh, uh, so I went home, and I decided to so this morning, I've been waiting for my sister Teddy to give me her Christmas list, and I asked my aunt about some coffee, on Amazon. There's a package. I'm gonna probably send her multiple packages of coffee. So, but she's awesome. My uncle, I made a joke with her this morning about the Lig lamp. It's a major award, which Dinky basically won the Golden Pumpkin Award in her city, which is really cool. I had to help her get the votes, by setting it up pretty much for her Facebook. She didn't know how to do it. So I was like, just go here and link it. And she was happy. She won the Golden Award. So it's an award. So, so anyways, so tonight, I got to tell you, tonight's interesting. One of the things I decided to look into is the Amazon Echo Dot for my home because uh, uh, it's got a clock and there's a special going for 24 hours. So I thought about ordering a Amazon Echo Dot clock because I'd like to have a clock in my window and I can turn the microphone off anyways. And basically use it for tracking packages, and I'm a Prime member. So one of the things that they asked me recently was food stamps. So if I have food stamps or Medicaid, they'd knock it down to $5.99 a month. So I placed an order on Prime for Prime Pantry for. So basically, so um, so yeah, so managing stuff. So one of the things Dinky told me to do was check out, buy myself a game for Christmas. So I went ahead and spent $10 and got thousands and thousands of hours. It's already configured. So I've been playing Might and Magic 1. I got to get some graph paper to make my maps, and I'm gonna get into Might and Magic 1 through 9. 6 through 9 I can beat easily. 1 through 6 it will be challenging because I grew up with Might and Magic. I grew up with Wizardry and I grew up with Ultima. Now, Ultima is not my really favorite game series. I prefer Wizardry or um, um, Might and Magic. Might and Magic was on DOS, whereas uh, Wizardry got Windows and DOS 6 and 7. 1 through 5 was different, but I also decided for one of my Christmas presents was to buy Might and Magic 1 through 6. I got a brand new box, which is worth about $400. Someone was selling it cheap. When he found out the going rate for that game was about $400 to $700 brand new in the box, he was selling it at eBay for 30, mint condition, completely factory sealed. I bought it from him dirt cheap. Yeah. So I did that. That's one of my presents. Like I said, I do want the Eco Dot clock. I'm being very frugal. I'm waiting to see what's going on with St. Jose. He messaged this morning. He has a message a week apart. I think it's maybe my letters. I just sent him a letter out today. I was supposed to go off island today, but my business, I had two reasons for going. St. Jose usually sends me out on a Saturday, so I was planning for it. Didn't go according to plan, so Monday I go off on the shuttle around 11:30, so I won't be back until like 9:30 the next night because I have to go shopping for Walmart for groceries. Chloe's going to Walmart too for groceries, so when we're there, we will be picking up um, a cooler for frozen goods. The cooler is going to be between 16 and 30, so we'll get one on wheels so we can take our frozen goods back and forth. So we have frozen meals. So currently we have 4 meals already stored away, not including all the canned goods in the pantry there. Uh, you know, and so yeah, otherwise, everything's good. I'm just planning Christmas. And another thing I was planning to do was get a printer because I got letters I need to print out and sign and stuff. I don't like writing everything by hand. I mean, I do, but it just takes a lot of time consuming. So, and I thought it would be better to do it that way. So, but otherwise, all is well. I better take the chicken out while I'm thinking about it, and then go from there because Chloe wants chicken legs for dinner. And so, and these are $2 for 5 pounds of chicken legs. That's really a good deal. It's $2 for 5 pounds because it was on sale. They have a store right now. They're $7 for 5 pounds, but I didn't buy any because we still got some in the chest freezer here, and we have more in that freezer. I just keep transferring them. It's easier. And so when I'm done with this video, I got to fill this bowl up so Ebony has his pellets. I was gonna go to the pet store to get pellets. Chloe was really worried last month about hay, and asked her grandmother to help her with some enough to get hay, and I was gonna pick it up. It's been budgeted. I budget everything. The reason Chloe was panicked is Chloe's bunny is wanting hay, so um, so that was kind of confusing, but otherwise all is well. So but yeah, so the toilet snake did unclog the problem. We have to talk about that for a minute. Chloe was putting matches down the toilet, so they got stuck. So I had to unclog the toilet between snake auger and using some baking powder and some hot water and some vinegar and some special acids to get down there to dissolve some of it, so it's easy to flush, so we don't have any problems. And Chloe has been severe borderline breaks recently. That's something I want to share with you all. Uh, she doesn't think she's going to be on disability. She thinks her disability claim will be denied faster than when she goes to CMAR. She fired Compass Health. Her mom doesn't know this. She fired Compass Health on the grounds that she was afraid that Chloe's going to have, not Chloe's mom, Chloe's going to have a payee. So she fired them. She doesn't want Compass Health controlling her money, so she fired them. But Chloe's borderline rage has been getting to the point where she's been combative a lot lately, yelling, screaming. The manager basically said, you mean well. You're trying to get Chloe under control. We know your husband did the same with you, with Aaron with it, and so it was interesting because on that aspect, and so another thing I want to talk about today is planning to relocate. Now, I was talking to my adopted mother. She doesn't understand stories, so I will tell you. My father-in-law, Poppy, is 12 years from 80, and he's getting up there in age where he needs someone to look after him. And I said, let me look after you. And we were working on a plan for a house, basically. His house needs a lot of repairs, so he's going to sell it as a fixer upper and put that money towards his retirement. In return, I'm going to be getting a house that's probably between $200 and $300 a month, older house, already refit. That's pretty fairly affordable, and I will be moving to Pennsylvania to look after Poppy. He's in Ohio, but we looked at all the different areas in Pennsylvania, and we're looking at moving to Pennsylvania so we can get a house. There's big enough houses for all of us, and a big yard for Moppy and a big yard for Chloe, his blue tick hound. And so we're looking into that for next year. So because Poppy's up there in age where he has only one family member besides me wanting to look after him. Well, not really look after him. She's doing what she can, but Poppy has his own ideas, and so I said, look, you're worried about running out of retirement money, and you're almost 80 years old. You're 12 years from 80. Let me look after you. I mean, I can do your laundry. I can cook for you. The house will be always clean, so just let me look after you. So one of the things we're talking about is, because he's my father-in-law and he's, up there in age. So anyways, other than that, nothing else to report. And so, just got things moving along. I got to send out a letter Monday and Tuesday to Jose. I ordered stamps at the postal service. They'll be coming in the mail. They didn't charge me sales tax, so I bought stamps so I can actually write more Jose's letter. I prefer the river stamps because because the post office hasn't been able to get them in, but you can buy them online. So I bought 4 sheets of river stamps so I can continue writing Jose. Um, and so I was gonna pick him up a get well card too. Um, and go from there, because I do care for Jose. I mean, I really do. I mean, he's looking after me, and I would like to look after him as well. But to me, I'm kind of worried about Jose because he sounds kind of like out of love, a hermit. And, because, if he has his phone, he should be messaging. If he's got my phone number, he can call me. And he's got my email address. He can email me. So, I'm looking after him too. But, last night this morning he messaged me saying he apologized for, I sent him some new pictures, and he says, I apologize, love. I was drunk last night and I got a headache. Well, that's what happens. So, with me, I've been talking to my therapist about being bipolar, and my therapist told me to figure something else out over, wanting to drink, because drinking is a coping mechanism for me for handling Chloe. So, but one of the things I wanted to bring up was Chloe's always saying, that um, she's always talking about mental hospitals. And one of the things I think Chloe's mom realizes is that it's a crutch. She uses that, but the thing is, the hospital doesn't really want to help her because she's been hospitalized 6+ times, and every time she gets off meds. The meds have some side effects, so she's been on a lot of them. Um, so I'm not going to bring up Chloe. Chloe's got her own problems, but I will say, she's worried about Social Security denying her because she ain't on meds, which could happen. Uh, she's worried about Social Security denying her because she claims the doctors put in all her medical records that she wants disability money. That could happen. Or they can approve her. So, and her family's like, get a lawyer. Well, we had a lawyer the last time. We went to the meeting at the administrative law judge, and the judge said, hey, well, you got 23 diagnoses. Which one? This one contradicts this one. This one contradicts this one. Which one? Denied. And so, and they're basing off of the disabilities, also based off of education. She's got 4 years college. So that doesn't do any good either. And they think she can flip burgers at Dairy Queen, McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, etc. Taco Bell's tacos, of course, but or burritos and chalupas. And then you have the other fact that she worked in distribution centers. If Amazon ever popped in nearby, she could work there. She could pack at stock grocery stores at night. She can be a janitor. All these things she can do, So technically, it's just a big, big thing. So we're just waiting to see what happens. So, and as I said, we'll figure it out, and I've said this time and time again, that it's all in the hands of God and Social Security. Now, the other thing I wanted to share with you is which is really sad, is my family kind of got angry last night. They have a reason to, because for one, you got to look at Chloe's disability. Besides being borderline personality, which I'm not praising her, but I'm not being negative or pessimistic or belittling her. But one of the things that they put in her Compass records was she's narcissistic. She thinks about herself. She's always dwelling on the past, how the damage the past was, how she was abused as a child, how she was so many different things. So basically, she dwells on it. And so they put in narcissist because, when she was at the hospitals, for example, they asked her, well, you were getting cash assistance. What were you doing with it? Oh, I was buying clothes and I was buying this. And I said, well, what about paying your way, paying your bills? Well, before we left to go to Friday Harbor Station and take over my fleet as a fleet admiral, one of the things that was interesting was the caseworker contacted the manager, and the manager emailed me and told me to call her to say the case manager wanted to know if Chloe was paying her portions of rent, or so then I had to call the caseworker because the management company doesn't divide the rent up. You can't just sit there and say, oh, your rent's $300, Chloe gets $200 cash assistance. Chloe needs to pay $100 for rent. Instead, I was paying it all. So the guy basically threw fit, plus the fact that Chloe moved, didn't tell him. So he canceled the cash assistance. Well, she could have got reapplied to cash assistance, which would have been 4 to 8 months, but Chloe didn't want to bother. So, because her case was denied based off of the grounds that she had 23 different diagnoses, one being schizophrenic, borderline, bipolar, schizoaffective, schizotypical, etc. So basically what happened was, when it came to Chloe, she never did that, so everything fell on me. Well, the thing is the family, and this is where I see it's a little logic, but my family doesn't. But if Chloe's mom's watching, or Chloe's grandmother or Chloe's grandfather, I would like to say, well, last year Chloe bought me one Christmas present. I bought her a lot, and she got several $100s for Christmas gifts for her mom and her grandparents and stuff, which was nice, and her birthday as well. And that money went for Chloe's needs. And so to me, it's okay if Chloe has needs. And I can't support Chloe for the rest of my life. And so what she uses her money for is one thing, but with my low sugar level yesterday, it was kind of a sad thing where she's eating chips in front of me and then clam chowder and everything else, and I'm starving, and I'm like, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that. And finally, I got home and I went to sleep. So this morning I went and wolfed down a big old breakfast, which I'm happy and content. But the thing is the logical answer, she doesn't get a lot of money. So, for example, like I've said in previous videos, that if she doesn't get much, she should use it for herself because that's all she has. She doesn't have it. So if I'm buying toilet paper, shaving cream, and paper towels, and dish soap, and toilet cleaner and stuff, Chloe cleans the house. She always does when she's not depressed. I'm wondering if she's also like me, bipolar. I don't know. But the main thing is she's severely borderline. The Compass said no, it's not the right diagnosis. The hospital turned around and trumped her and said it is. So they're at loggerheads. Chloe didn't give her medical records to Compass. She said, fuck you, and that was it. Fired him. And they talked about how if she's bipolar, like they think, she can't manage money. But thing is what upset me also yesterday is, that she's got money and yet, I had to tap into the electric bill money last month, a bit of it, to cover Ebony's pellets and hay because we were out and I wasn't going to wait. And the funny thing was Chloe's grandmother sent her a check that was in the name Chloe, not her legal name. And so the money wasn't cashed. So, so grandma sent it back. And so Chloe cashed it yesterday and, asking about hot chocolate and breakfast and yesterday's coffee was upsetting because frankly the problem with that is that she should have basically bought her own. Well, she did buy her breakfast, but the coffee and everything else should have been different. So the coffee and everything else should have been different. I'm just grabbing this for a second, sorry, because she's like, oh, do I need to buy my Reese's cup? There's these large Reese's cups that are like this big that are homemade at the coffee shop. And I said, look, you just got paid. I need a cup of coffee before I go home because it's the only sugar I'll probably get if I can't find a store or something. She was trying to hint at going to the grocery store, to the deli department. Now, let me just say the doctors I talked to yesterday, because my chest pain, told me to try to limit my fat food intake for a while because that could trigger flare up things. So the bag of chips isn't doing me any good. The popcorn won't do me any good unless it's air popped without butter, which I bought butter for. and the juices are fine. So this is Capri Sun. So in the end, you're trying to upset people, that and so one of the things, I agree with Dinky and Corey and other family members, but there's also a logical side, being part Vulcan, that states, that's what she has money wise. Now, Chloe's, once Chloe had cash, Chloe, one of the reasons they terminated her cash assistance was the fact that she wasn't putting any money towards what she should be doing, which is like lights, which the electric bill where we were at was $60 a month. The rent was $300 a month, and and the um, uh, the internet was $100 a month. So she could have contributed. Now she's got money, if and this morning I said, look, I know you're gonna get money from your family. I'm not gonna say anything, but I basically finally said, being an adult, that if you get any money, and you get what you need, like shoes, which she has shoes, I provided those, or bunny pellets, or bunny hay for your bunny, or bunny toy, or whatever. The rest of the money that you get, not Christmas money, of course, that's different, that you should basically give it to offer at least $20 or something for the electric bill instead. Here's my money. And so to me, I was kind of a little pissy about it, but you get the idea. It's just, the contributions, because someone, everyone's got to contribute something, and if she's not going to be contributing cleaning, and making me do it all, then she should contribute if she's got cash money to help with her bills. I mean, the internet's $65 a month, and we have internet at home, so 65, that's not bad. Put $10, $20, and here you go instead. So the one thing is I think honestly, and I'm not going to be negative towards Chloe in any way, shape, or form, I'm actually in a good mood, was that I think Chloe didn't want to get cash assistance because the guy who was her caseworker, Conrado, realized that she's not using it properly, and that's why Chloe, people say, oh, well, you need a payee. And Chloe's like, no, I don't. Thing is, unless she maybe has a payee or a group home, if she got money, I mean, I know she can manage money well. That's one of her character qualities when she has money, but spending other people's money, she has no problems with. Hoarding your own money is basically the narcissistic thing, and she needs to stop and think, look, you know, Rita's buying extra groceries. Rita's basically making menus. And so technically, Rita should have some leeway. I mean, my snacks right now I bought was a block of cheese, some popcorn to get me by, off and on when I'm not that hungry, and that's my snacks. Where she needs to realize, I can't just keep buying uh, stacks and stacks and stacks of chicken legs and cooking them, or buffalo wings, or I mean, yesterday she got money. One of the funny things was we were supposed to have lunch, and she's like, are you buying lunch? It's like, well, you just got money, you buy your own lunch. She got mad. So she needs to realize she can't sit there and rely on someone. If you got money, you basically do it. Now the real gripe was, besides the money issue and the family, stating that she doesn't want to contribute to her portion, which, I think her mom would understand this argument somewhat valid. And I hope so. Her mom's very understanding and concerned, but I also think her mother would understand the Vulcan reasoning, that it's her money and what she has is what she has, and that's it. But on the other hand, Chloe shouldn't be buying junk like chips and other things. I mean, she's claims she's got diabetes, which her A1C last time at the ER said, no, you're not diabetic. You're not, diabetic. So she's clean, but it's her disability. It's making her eat more. And so when she eats more, she eats up a lot of food fast. Ramen, more ramen, more ramen. And in the end, guess who has to pay the bill and sacrifice food for her? And so, one of the things I like people know is I keep emergency money put aside in case of it to buy groceries, because I can't go without, and that includes dip, so my dip keeps going down, and it's like so to me, the other thing is when I went to the smoke shop, she wanted cigarettes and snus and dip, and the bill was pretty high. And so when she got her cash checked, I said, if you want these items, maybe you should look into eventually repaying it, etc. Because, I'm on a fixed income and I can't support two people. And so, she's been talking about leaving and going back to Ohio and stuff. And to me, it kind of feels sad because it's like I'm being used in some ways and then just discarded. My family's like, look, if you get a little money, you should basically contribute. If you can contribute, otherwise, don't bother. And so to me, I agree, but that the logical answer is that's what she all she has. So but yeah, it was upsetting to me the most, yesterday, besides my stress level because I was hungry and she was eating clam chowders and chips and everything else, was the fact that I wasn't eating because I had to wait. And then, I got on the shuttle and I didn't have time to go to Mocha Joe's for coffee or a hot dog or anything. Then I went to the station to board the long range shuttle back to this station, Mount, Friday Harbor Station, and the galley was full. So all these things happened. So I didn't eat last night. And what upset me the most was that she didn't sit there at the grocery store and says, "Oh, Rita's sugar level's low. I better get her a little teeny bag of chips, to get her by." Instead, she's like, "Oh." And so my anger was more towards the fact that I give freely out of all my love, to all people. Coffee for Christmas, gifts to my pen pals, gifts to, I'm planning to send, freely to, Jose, St. Jose. And what upset me the most, I wrote about it in my letter to Jose, was the fact that she did this. Yet when I go and say, "Oh, I need to go get some breakfast," like this morning, she's like, "Go for it." Problem is that she was angry as hell with me because every time I decide I need to go get a something to eat, a low sugar when I'm out and about, maybe fish and chips or a sandwich, what about me? And so it gets to the point where if you don't give in, she basically becomes very angry and combative. So, it upset me that I'm sitting there in a station looking at a sign saying hamburgers and hot dogs and thinking, yeah, I should just get something here. This is probably my only meal that day. Instead, she goes, "Hey, hey, shuttle driver, when are you going to March's Point?" 7 minutes. All right, I'll be there. Then on the way, I'm having severe chest pain and I end up somewhere where I don't want to talk about. And well, then I get discharged. Then I get to the station, and lo and behold, everything's filled. Yeah. So to me, it's not cool. And so that's where my gripe is. But I'm not being negative. I'm not saying, "Oh yeah, whatever, whatever." It's just, I'm just expressing my concern. So, anyways, with that said, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. Please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestions. Hit that like, subscribe button. Hold some funding for your family, including your service dogs and service bunnies. Thanks for watching, everyone. Captain's log out. USS Enterprise NCC 1701B. This transmission ends now.